a key issue affecting them all the time is teenage pregnancy. Especially sometimes you see students in the same school, impregnating, a boy impregnating a girl per se, or sometimes you even have teacher-student relationships, and then the students end up getting impregnated by a teacher. Perhaps you just like to highlight how important this is and the intervention that NAPSA plays when such a scenario happens.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bati. When it comes to teenage pregnancy, it's a very delicate issue. And coming to NAPSA's intervention towards that, is like we go to schools and make sure we speak to the girls, because all we can do is talk to them and explain how risky it is and how it will affect their education. And that's what we do. We talk to them and show them that what you are here for is education. Make sure you achieve that and go, nothing more or nothing less. And then coming to the teacher-student relation, it's the same thing. Our responsibility is the student, and it is the student that we go and address. But should in case a student is affected and reported to NAPSA, we also make sure that we look into the issue and then go to the right authorities and see what best can be done. But our advice is let students make sure that they are students in school and then see their teachers as teachers, nothing more and nothing less.
That is very important. See your teachers as teachers, nothing more and nothing less. Charga, like another key issue that I also want you to look at, apart from the issue of discipline, academic performance is a priority, to education stakeholders in this country, especially when it comes to the performance of mathematics and English language. Of course, I'm sure there might be certain things that you do, in ensuring that children or young people or even students are particularly given that leveled playing ground and that conducive environment to be able to at least adapt when it comes to having better performances in mathematics and English language.
Yes, I think that continues to be really a challenge in terms of performance as per various subject areas, mathematics and English. However, at our end, we do not have an intervention kind of that we do in making sure we address it, apart from trying to discourage or encourage the students to take these subjects as useful as any other subject. Because what happens in this subject is like a phobia that is developed in them, that this is difficult, I cannot do it. This is what is affecting. But we have the personnel on the ground, we have the people that can deliver. So we have continuously been advising students to take the subjects like any other subject, because they are equally very relevant. The likes of the sciences, the mathematics, because as we seek in expanding our technological advancement as a country, we need people who are expatriates in those areas. So taking serious notes on them will really help in making sure we address the issue. But it all has to do with the student himself, him or herself, getting the commitment that this is just like any other subject and I can do it if I can do the other subjects.
That is important. You're 12 years now. Of course, this year, I don't know whether it's okay. Fortunately, it is it is in the holy month of Ramadan, which of course is a blessing. Thanks to God. It is 12 years, and just as you said, 12 years is not 12 days.
Sure.
What are we expecting this year? Perhaps you'd also like to highlight the theme of this year's anniversary.
Yeah, thank God again, like you said, this is 12 years. NAPSA will be 12 years sometime Saturday on the 10th of August 2013. And that we feel there are a lot of achievements that we need to associate it with. But again, we do not rule out the possibility that we need to equally look ourselves inwards. So that is why we come up with the theme of accessing, analyzing, and acting to do better for greater successes. Because we cannot just keep going. We need to analyze our stance as to how far we are, what we have left behind, and what how best we can come up to cope the excesses of our challenges.
More like the SWOT, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats.
Something that like that. We have started analyzing on that. But again, it has that as a theme, but it is deeply rooted, in giving back to people who has really sacrificed one or two things for the cause of the Gambian students. And that is why with this anniversary, we have established a ground roots base in which we will award, a lot of instrumental people who have really served, NAPSA and served the cause of the Gambian students. And that does not only limit it to people within NAPSA. We have highlighted radio stations that are even doing best in hosting student programs. So this time we will, give them award as part of our anniversary in recognition of their efforts to the students of this country, individuals and equally the secretariat members of NAPSA, because as executives we cannot achieve all the implementations without the support of the beneficiaries themselves, and that is the students. So there are students among them who have been really outstanding. They've been coming for meetings every Sunday, and they've been contributing positively towards reaching at where we have reached. You remember sometime we faced with a lot of constraints. There were a lot of ups and downs, but with all that they were with us. So we felt it is equally useful to say very thanks to them, and that we'll be giving some awards to various people.
That is important, saying thank you for being there all the time. That's important. I said to one key issue that people always talk about. When you talk about NAPSA, there are some people that would say NAPSA is a student's body that is politically affiliated. I mean, people have their different reasons, but perhaps you might want to clarify.
As far as NAPSA members are concerned, and people that know NAPSA, we know we are not. But in life you must be talked about.
Definitely.
Allah has sent prophets and they have been criticized. Who is NAPSA not to be criticized? Those are things that we used to build on. If people talk about us, we sit on our table, our executive table. You know what I'm talking about. You have been once an executive member. And discuss about issues that people are talking about, and then we see where we went wrong and where we went right. Then we forge ahead. But NAPSA being a political body or a student's political, whatever it's called, it's not what I don't it's what I don't understand rather. But we are not. Because nobody has ever seen us go to schools and say, vote for this party or that party. Nobody has ever seen us go to students and tell them, don't listen to X or listen to Y. All we tell them is about school, discipline, and education. So what makes NAPSA a political body is what I don't understand. Maybe it's because we are working with the government. We cannot be changed by anybody.
That is to be specific, the Ministry of Basic and
Secondary Education. Because we said our motto is to serve as partners in nation development. So if you are to serve as a partner in nation development and you are not ready to work with the government or part of the government, what are you telling people? And
I think there is no strategic partner when it comes to education promotion in this country other than the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education.
So if that is what is going to make us political, well,
it's something else. Well, anyway, people always have something to talk about.
That argument, honestly, I think is just a foregone conclusion to me.
Exactly.
Because it's really baseless. Because you cannot cite any statute of this country in any constitution, and classify NAPSA to be a political institution. We do not feel the